we're trying not to be like big damn cast rip-offs.
Every episode we just start off laughing.
And that's how Fortnite was made. How are you today, Jean?
Yeah, pretty good. Yourself?
Can't complain.
Mm.
Life's shit, but hey ho. I mean, I feel a bit iffy because I had dinner like 15 minutes ago. I don't think it's properly digested, and the way I'm sitting to record this isn't probably the best position for stuff to digest. I'll let that image, you can interpret that however you want, listeners and John.
Yeah.
But I probably shouldn't be sitting like this to digest food. Also, I've got lots of chocolate and some shortbread. So, I'm an unhealthy motherfucker.
It's probably not the best to start like eating chocolate and shortbreads, having an upset tummy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Jesus. Right, come on. I can do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Are we gonna do this? We're gonna do this.
I'm ready.
So, this is a podcast thing, if you didn't realise. And basically what it's going to be is every now and again, me and John will get in a call. We usually do anyway, and we decided like last year, it's like, what if we did a podcast? To which we both replied with, no, that'd be stupid. And then we tried it, and it failed spectacularly. So this is like attempt number 5 at trying to do this.
I've lost count. Yeah.
Oh, it's always the ones that we sound depressed. But every now and again, these will pop up every now and again. You can listen to them, or you cannot. Anyway, what we want to talk about today, because it's kind of relevant. I mean, it happened about a week ago-ish.
Maybe about 2 weeks when this goes out.
Possibly, yeah. We're going to talk about... Because we're both very big Doctor Who fans. I mean, if you're subscribed to Jean's channel,
yeah,
we've read it. Read, yeah. You read videos, don't you? Mm. If you've watched any of Jean's videos, you know he's into Doctor Who as well. We're going to talk mostly about Doctor Who on this podcast. I mean, it's named Kerblam.
Yeah.
But every now and again, if we like something, because we're both into Batman, we might talk about Batman the Animated Series for one episode, because we both like that.
Just all our shows and movies and stuff we like.
It's going to be a general sort of thing, and because Doctor Who is not on in 2019, we're going to have a lot of those episodes where it's like, unless there's some Doctor Who news, that might take the full thing of it, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so today, because we're both Doctor Who fans, I'm getting back onto the thingy, we're going to talk about Resolution, the New Year's Day special.
Yeah.
Well, we have talked about it a bit outside of this, but we haven't fully gone into it together, and this will be our sort of first time really speaking about the episode. We'll also talk a bit about Doctor Who going forward after this, and what that means for Series 12, and what we'd like to see. So yeah, you still on board?
So, Resolution, mate.
Uh-huh.
I believe we've got similar opinions on this.
Yeah, I think so. Watched lots of other reviews of it and listened to them. No one's really got what I think, and it's like, yeah, we have similar opinions. You're like the one person who thinks like I do about this episode.
Obviously, like, they differ a bit. Like, I like some bits you don't. You probably like some bits I don't.
Probably the first one.
Yeah. So, I've only seen this episode once. I was meant to watch it again for the purpose of this, but just didn't find the time.
I've watched it a grand total of about 3 times.
Okay.
Once on the night, the second the day later, and the third one a couple of days later, when I was with friends, and we were a bit... I'm not going to say the words so I don't get arrested. But
Yeah.
What's your opinion on it?
I was not a fan of it.
At first?
Really at all. I don't know, the more I think about it, the more problems I just pick up on.
Yeah.
I think I probably should have went back to watch it just to see if like some stuff does improve. But yeah, just I thought it was okay on the night. But like there was so many like little things that just bugged me more about it. Like, I think it's not the worst episode by any means.
Oh, no. It's one of the better specials.
I think you said this to me earlier when we were having a chat, and it was like, it's one of the most annoying episodes.
That's it.
It just does these little things that's like, oh, really?
See, my opinion went from hating it on the night
Yeah.
to the next day being like, oh, this is okay. And then watching it again going, oh, wait, I was right. I really don't like this. And it's the most frustrating episode I think I've come across, because there is good, but there is also just little things, exactly what you said, little things that just irk me in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And that just really annoyed me, so I couldn't get on board with it. And so I tried to, when I watched it again, I was like, all right, just ignore the little things that really bother you. And I was able to, but when I watched it again, and I had a couple of Doctor Who friends there with me on that third night, so I was able to talk about it with them. And yeah, we all really ripped into it, and I sort of went, yeah, this weren't what, this shouldn't be okay.
I'll say one thing about it. It definitely felt more like a finale than the actual Series 11 finale we got. Like, there was something special about it.
Yeah, it did feel different.
Yeah, even if it didn't quite hit the marks.
Exactly. I'm glad they tried.
Yes.
That's something. I'm glad they tried to do a big finale thing here.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction, I'd say. Like, in terms of the actual use of the Daleks. Like, I think we're in agreement that was probably one of the better elements of it.
Should we just go through the episode? Because we're going to talk about it anyway. We haven't got... It's not like when we did try to talk about Series 11.
Yeah.
Which went up on Sean's channel, but separate to this. Let's talk about the whole episode. From the beginning?
Yeah. So it starts out with two, like, archaeologists there.
No, you gotta go right to the beginning, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about that flashback.
Exactly. But even before that, it gets off on the wrong foot. Why does it get off on the wrong foot? No title sequence.
When I was first watching it, I was expecting a little pre-title sequence thing.
Now, I was like, I was expecting it to go into the title sequence, and when it didn't, I was like, okay, pre-titles.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I was expecting that flashback scene, and then I was thinking, okay, then we'll have the titles.
Something will happen and that will lead into the titles, yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
And I don't know why, because it made sense in Women.
Yeah, because in The Woman Who Fell to Earth, there isn't a title sequence, and I understand that more.
Yeah.
Because it starts out with that BBC logo, which was very good, and sort of made you go, okay, this is Doctor Who now.
This just felt like they didn't include it just for the sake of it, really.
Because it's a big blockbuster thing, and big blockbusters don't have title sequences, do they? It's like, but Doctor Who does.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. It was like you could have been watching, like, people would click on it New Year's Day. Well, looking from the viewing figures on New Year's Day, not many people are watching telly.
No.
But if someone had just clicked on that, apart from, like, if they had just gone, all right, we'll see what's on BBC One, without seeing the TARDIS or anything, you wouldn't know what show it was if you started watching it from the beginning. Yeah,
I saw people saying, like, it started out like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I think, see from the actual, like, when we do get the flashbacks and the setup to the episode, I thought it looked good, but I didn't like the idea as a whole.
This whole episode looks fantastic. The direction by Wayne Yip.
The direction's brilliant. The music is on point.
I would like to come back to the music and talk about that more in depth at the end. But yeah, the music's great. The direction is great.
And they clearly had a big budget. Like,
yes.
Seeing them, like, first few scenes and, like, the scope of it.
You suddenly go, oh, money has been spent on this program.
I didn't like the fact that, first of all, a Dalek has, like, came to Earth. It was taken out by, what soldiers was it?
Three battling armies.
Yeah. And then the fact that it was then cut up and put around the world in 3 separate places, which doesn't really make sense. Like, it didn't really add anything.
To do that?
Yeah, it didn't add anything to the story because it just comes together again anyway. So it wasn't an obstacle.
It teleports itself together.
Yeah.
Somehow.
And the fact that like, I've said to you that, like, it must have been damaged or something when it came to Earth. Because it's a Dalek. It's not going to get taken out with few people and swords.
The whole point of this episode was people going, oh yeah, it makes the Daleks scary again. At the beginning, it is defeated by 9th century humans.
Yeah. And also the font they used, like, in that flashback, I really hated that. It just looked tacky.
It was a meme font. Josh Snares pointed this out on Twitter. It's a font similar to the one used in, like, all those memes where it's like, you know, they have a picture, and then it's text at the top and text at the bottom.
It looked like the Broadchurch font, to be honest.
Chris Chibnall strikes again. But also the way it starts with that flashback, with narration.
Yeah.
With some random guy, I don't know, I've tried to work out who it is. Is it Ryan's dad, Aaron?
It's Rassilon.
The final day. Oh, but it just starts out with narration. Just telling us what happened.
It felt very Stephen Moffat-y, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. But it was like, I didn't see the necessity for narration. We could have seen that on the screen, what was happening.
Yeah.
Like if they had done more with the flashback and then had a title sequence. But
was that whole thing of, like, show don't tell?
Yeah, but it's just like showing it to you briefly, but telling you exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
And that is a problem with Chibnall. He will show you what's happening, but he will tell you what's happening at the same time.
A few seconds before.
It's like, quickly, behind the pillar. They go behind the pillar.
Like, it makes sense, like, if it's like, okay, we'll alert the characters to do that. But it's like, we're now going through this door. Proceeds to go through the door.
Yeah. I'm going to detonate the bomb. Detonates the bomb.
Yeah. It's like, just do it already. We don't need it literally said out loud.
But yeah, it cuts, and then it cuts to what you said was the archaeological dig. Because, like, there's a Dalek on Earth. Spoilers! It's the Daleks in this episode. It's not like the BBC spoiled that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know why they've done that, put out that trailer.
Yes, it was stupid.
Yep.
The Dalek is cut into 3 and separated to different parts of the world, but one of the people gets, he's travelling through Yorkshire, and he gets ambushed just by some muggers or whatever, and he gets killed. And nobody moves the body or takes his satchel and gets buried. Body. Ugh. Anyway, so it cuts to the present day, and this guy got killed. Surprise, surprise, in Sheffield, you know, where all the companions live.
Yeah, everything felt very conveniently, like...
Oh, yeah, the beginning of this episode is just built on massive coincidences, and I will get back onto that. But yeah, just so happens that it's in Sheffield.
Because of course it is.
And there's 2 characters, Mitch and Lynn. Now, what did you think of these 2 characters?
Well, at the beginning, right, they're setting up sort of a relationship between them. I thought that was a bit... I was expecting them to die, to be honest, from that. I was like, okay, right, they're going to get killed off. One of them's going to go wandering off, and then you're going to hear a scream, then titles or something like that.
That's what I thought was going to happen when she touched the...
Yeah.
Because they digging up the thing, and then they find a bit of the Dalek mutant.
Yeah. I thought Lynn was okay. Mitch was just quite forgettable, though. Like, he didn't really stand out for me.
I don't know. I like Charlotte Ritchie, the woman who played Lynn, because she was in Fresh Meat and she was in Call the Midwife. And I've seen both of those things. So, I know what she's like as an actress, and I kind of like her. But, it's the conflict of my opinion on the episode itself and the choices it makes.
I thought she was a lot better when the Dalek, possessed her.
Oh, I don't know.
I know you don't like that idea.
We'll get onto it, but I don't know if I liked her or not. And I like her in other things, and I thought she did what she was told to do, what the performance was telling her to do. Yeah. So, you know, she's good for that. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm indifferent. But the guy, he was a bit forgettable, like you said. Yeah, he was just there. And they try to set up a relationship thing, but it feels just so, for me, it felt so forced. It's like, care about these characters.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. It was literally the beginning. I remember thinking in my head, it was like, I just don't care. these two. I want to see the Doctor. I want to see the Dalek. It's the whole reason I'm watching this episode. And I know you can't just go straight to the Dalek. But when just didn't like the characters really. And that's not a great way to already have started your episode on 5 problems.
You see, for me, Lynn was probably the best thing about the episode, her character.
And this is where our opinions differ here.
Yeah. I just really liked when she was taken over by the Dalek. I liked how she played it. I just thought that idea in general was really good.
We'll get onto it.
Yeah.
So, they dig up this Dalek bit, and they put it under UV light. Just because they do,
Yeah.
And then the parts of it that were scattered across, the 2 other parts that were scattered across the world, it somehow comes back to life, this Dalek, after being cut into 3 pieces.
Yeah.
And I thought about this, and there is a bit in which is familiar.
Yeah, I was thinking that, the Dalek sewer.
Yeah, where they're engineered to keep living on. But then again, this story also contradicts that episode anyway.
I'm kind of glad with that contradiction, though, about the casing,
No.
because that was just stupid anyway.
I don't know, but yeah, we could keep the bit that the Daleks are engineered keep on living no matter what, because that's quite a dark idea.
But it just made the whole cutting it up pointless.
Yes, but they didn't know that, I'll give them that. But yeah, it's cut up, but the pieces, the scattered, also come back to life.
Yeah.
And the thing in the one in Sheffield manages to teleport these pieces back together with itself. And I don't understand how it did that.
No. Doesn't
And
quite...
I know later the Doctor says it's a special Dalek and has special powers. But Daleks can't just teleport themselves and heal themselves back together.
No. Yeah, that's a bit far-fetched.
Do you know what I would have preferred? I would have preferred this little bit of the Dalek manages to heal and come back to life using the thing like Daleks keep on living.
Yeah.
And it is reawoken. And then this little bit of the Dalek begins to build itself back together, makes that casing. Then flies across, and then it's that global thriller epic bit where it goes across the world to put itself back together. All the pieces come across the world. And there's 3 bits of a Dalek, and then so you can have 3 proto sort of Daleks. And then they all come back together, and they build that one Dalek.
Well, that would make more sense as to why they showed where the parts of the Dalek were buried. Because we could have just had that in dialogue when the guy was narrating, and we could have just went with that. But the fact they showed us it and then didn't use it.
It's so pointless because they make this whole thing, it's scattered across the world, and then they just teleport back together.
Yeah.
No necessity for scattering it across the world. Ugh. So the Dalek mutant comes back together magically, and then it disappears quickly. And then Lynn goes to find it, and she sees it on the wall, and it's a big squid, and it looked quite good.
Yeah, I think it looked really good.
And it looked like a classic Dalek mutant, which will come back into play later. I keep saying that, we'll talk about it later, but it does come back into play.
I thought the CG looked really good on it. The fact that that whole bit where they were just where they were was a set amazed me.
Looks so good.
It's so big. Yeah, and it looks so good.
It's the biggest indoor studio set the Doctor Who has ever had. Bigger than any of the TARDISes.
It just shows they had budget.
Yeah. But meanwhile, out in distant future, Team TARDIS, the Doctor, Graham, Ryan and Yaz have been through 19 New Year's Eves, New Year's Days. Just because they're just watching New Year's Eves, New Year's Days.
Yeah.
For no reason?
Yeah, it felt just to make it relevant to the story being on New Year.
Yeah, but then it's but it didn't need to be like that because the story is set on New Year's Day 2019. Another massive coincidence that they were watching loads of New Year's Days, New Year's Eves.
Yep.
And then they just so happened to go back to Earth on New Year's Day. But they're just watching them, and CGI looks quite good, for the TARDIS and those fireworks.
Yeah.
Doctor's wearing that scarf that was promoted the hell out of, but she takes it off.
She only wears it for 5 minutes.
So all those people who went out and bought them for like 60 quid, she barely wears it. It's great.
I still want the scarf. It's a good scarf.
Yeah, it is a good scarf. I like it. But she barely wore it.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it did feel like, oh, someone was wearing that scarf and they thought it'd look good on Jodie, so let's just put that in the episode for a bit.
Yeah, it's disappointing she didn't wear it more.
Yeah, that should have been her outfit for the whole story.
Yeah.
But, moving on. It's nice to see them all again, even though it's been like 3 weeks since we last saw them.
Yeah.
But they're just up to stuff, and then the Doctor has a magic alert that's set on Earth. Guarantee that'll never come back. She just has a magic alert, and she goes to Earth, and just so happens that it's in Sheffield.
Because of course.
Because of course it is. It's not everything happens in Cardiff anymore. Everything happens in Sheffield now.
Yeah, it used to always be like series 1. It was always Cardiff. Then like the other ones, it was always London. And it was like, oh, now that the companions are from Sheffield.
Now it's Sheffield. They go to Sheffield and they land the TARDIS in that sewer where those people were excavating. Yeah. And Mitch, he sees it land, and they all come out of it, and he doesn't question it.
No.
He immediately assumes their authority, and he's not like, how did the TARDIS land? What the hell is you? Who are you people? Like, she doesn't even, the Doctor doesn't even get out her psychic paper to be like, we are these people, we're sewers inspectors or whatever, Something like that. But he just instantly goes, oh, we're just excavating. He tells them everything. So they meet up with Lynn, who also accepts that they're authority, and that mutant thing that she saw on the wall is gone. Mysterious thing, and they think it's gone into the water. But has it? It hasn't. And here's another thing. They just tell the character Lynn and Mitch to go, and they do. And yes, it says a line like, I've got your contact details now, but we haven't had like any time jump or cut. No. It is literally like we've followed them since they have come out of the TARDIS.
Yeah.
And we never saw Yaz take their numbers down.
She's just psychic.
Oh, yeah. She's trying to be a police officer. It's like one of the few times she has been a police officer.
Yep. She got more character development in The Woman Who Fell to Earth than she did over the whole series.
Including Resolution.
Yes.
Poor Yaz. And again, she spends most of this episode in the TARDIS. She doesn't really do anything else.
Yep, because it's about Ryan again.
The same problem. She's just doing nothing. About Ryan. And Graham steals the show again.
Even Graham takes a backseat in this. Because he gets left behind halfway through.
That was funny. When it's like, oh, they've gone without me. And then he phones them up and he's like, where are you? Oh, I do like that sort of... I just love Graham.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Doctor takes a sample of the Dalek slime. She doesn't know it's a Dalek yet, that was on the wall. She doesn't point the sonic screwdriver and go, it's a Dalek! Which, considering she's done that for the entire series, is good. Yeah, fucking sonic screwdriver still does one more thing this episode that really annoys me. Get onto it. And they go back into the TARDIS and they're like, oh, it's a Dalek! And 13's reaction is quite good.
Yeah.
Like, her shock is like, oh dear, it's a Dalek. This is the first classic monster she's faced, because Series 11's all original monsters, be it to its detriment or not. But this is the first time Jodie's Doctor has come up against anything other Doctors have faced. That didn't really hit me. I was expecting, sometimes people go, this is their first encounter with Daleks, like you should be expecting that. I don't really get that, because it is a different kind of Dalek story.
I know what you mean, yeah.
It didn't feel like it should be her first Dalek story. It felt like it should be a Dalek story that she has.
I mean, well, yeah, as you say, it's a different type of Dalek, so that's had an effect on it.
Let's just touch upon the main points now, because going through it is taking forever. Lynn getting possessed by the Dalek. How did you feel? Like, they say later in the episode it's a new type of Dalek. It's a reconnaissance Dalek. So, like, the first to leave Skara and go off and examine new worlds. before the Daleks can come and conquer them. Which is a cool concept, like the first ever Dalek to go to Earth.
Yeah.
They're up against that. And it's a special kind of Dalek. But it also begs the question, this is a special Dalek because it can stop the Doctor's tracking of it, ish. It can blow up her circuits and things, and it can take over Lynn, because it can take over humans, and later on Ryan's dad. Ryan's dad we'll get on to. Why aren't all Daleks like this then? Because if it's like one of the first Daleks, shouldn't you think, all Daleks should be able to possess people?
I mean, to be fair, we don't know if they can. I liked it because I thought it was Chibnall, like, expanding upon the Daleks.
I know.
Being like, okay, yeah, but the creature is actually deadly itself. Like, so you're scared of that as well as, like, the casing?
This episode made the Dalek mutant more scary than the Dalek, I felt.
Yeah, but I wasn't too against that. Because I am...
No, I'm not against that either. It's as you say, it's taking a new spin on, like, the Daleks, because Chibnall is that kind of writer where he won't, even though we've got our problems with, like, predictability with his writing, or just simpleness, he does like to do things differently. He takes a different take on things. Like, it was a different take on the regeneration sort of side of things, where the Doctor, well, she's basically who she is, because most Doctors, like, start off and they're all, whoa, what's going on? And hers was less of that. She just didn't know her name. And was a bit more frantic.
I don't know, she was a little bit, scatterbrain.
Yeah. But I guess that could also be pointed to her Doctor as a bit scatterbrain. But yeah, he took a different take on the Daleks here, which I'm not against. And I think if this had just been a special later on in Jodie's run, with this kind of concept of a Dalek, I would have been a lot more on board with it.
I think there should have been more focus on the Dalek. I think the problem that I have mostly with this story is that it's a story split into two parts. We've got the Ryan as dad stuff, one half, now we've got the Dalek stuff, the other half.
Don't get me onto Ryan's dad.
Yeah, and I feel like the stuff with Ryan as dad, it didn't need to be there, especially coming from a series that's focused pretty much mostly on Ryan and his relationship with Graham and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like this shouldn't have came, I was going to say at all, but at least not this early, straight after Series 11. And as it is, the very first, the Daleks are back, the focus really should have been on them.
Yeah, they've been absent for a year. This is our first Dalek story, proper Dalek story, like a Dalek-centric story, in about 2 years.
Yeah, you can't really count the pilot.
Because they just show up in that. Although they are quite good in the pilot, I think. If you take it in context, it's not going, they just have to use the Daleks.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I like it's a different spin on the Daleks, but I also, the thing is, it's Jodie's first encounter with Daleks, and it's the first time we've seen the Daleks in ages. But they're not like they are. And I felt like with this story, I was expecting at least one normal Dalek, like the 2005 story Dalek.
Yeah.
Or massive fleet of Daleks, show them why, do a parting of the ways Bad Wolf, where it's just like, there are millions of them and they are fucking deadly.
New Daleks or
new? Okay. Get rid of the bronze ones.
Yeah. I didn't know if you meant like a Victory of the Dalek situation where it's like, here's a Dalek you're familiar with.
Another paradigm.
Yeah.
Just don't even have a reason for the Daleks changing. Just change them, Chibnall.
Yeah. Just bring them back. Don't make it a big thing. Just like, alright, use the Daleks.
Here's a Dalek story in Series 12. It's a 2-parter, and you better be worried.
Yes. Companions are in danger.
Especially if you make it the finale as well, because then people will have no clue if they're going to survive. Yeah. The concept itself of the Dalek mutants taking over someone, yada yada yada, it's great. I do like that. Sort of, this reconnaissance Dalek can take over people and use them as a host, because it's a special kind of Dalek. Or can all Daleks do it? Probably not. That would ruin a lot of stories. Because then you'd be going, why can't this Dalek just take over this person?
Yeah.
And when the Dalek rebuilds itself, and it becomes that scrapyard Dalek, which I kind of like. I kind of like the design of it. I didn't
I
like it at first,
elements of it.
but I didn't. Yeah. It's a cool idea of this Dalek rebuilding itself and taking over someone, you know.
Yeah. Also,
But I just don't think it should have been Jodie's first encounter with the Daleks.
I know what you mean.
Anyway, what were we gonna say?
I think it was nice, like, when it was rebuilding itself, how that drew parallels to Jodie's first story.
Yeah, people said that, and I was like, yeah, Dalek takes on female form and constructs itself something that it requires, you know?
Yeah.
Just like the Doctor took on female form and constructed something that it requires, i.e. her sonic screwdriver.
My, talking about the actual design, I think my problems... I like it, but just a little few, like, little things could make it really good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't like the little bits in between segments of the Dalek that sort of, like... You know what I'm on about, right? The sort of bits that, like, disconnected them. So it's like the head was slightly raised above, and I thought that was a bit meh.
I didn't get whatever rumour you had. It's like, it's a BB-8 Dalek. I was like...
Yeah, that's just something that's something I heard. Like, before
I think it's probably the remote control aspect, that it was a remote control Dalek.
Possibly.
There wasn't a person in this one. It was... Well, it couldn't have been. But it was remote control Dalek, which I wasn't a fan of, because I like Daleks because they wobble a bit, because you've got someone inside them. Like, you can feel there is a creature inside this.
Yeah, like the angry Dalek shake.
Yeah. Because it makes you feel like these creatures are alive. They're not just robots. There's something in it, like pure hate. Bubbling lump of hate, as the third Doctor called them.
See, when it rebuilt itself, I found it a bit odd that the design almost looked more modern. It looked like a more modern equivalent to a classic Dalek, if you know what I mean, with, like, the purple lighting and stuff.
Yeah.
So it felt like more futuristic, which I found odd, because surely it'd be more battered.
I love the bit inside it where it's like its headlamps flashed, but also the bit inside it flashed as well. I thought that was quite a nice little thing.
I don't know. I don't know if I was a fan of the light inside its head.
I thought it was okay.
When I was watching it, right, and the Dalek came out, and do you know how Daleks, have their bumps on them?
Yeah.
I remember turning to my brother and I was like, is that really necessary? Like, did they really have to care that much into the design? It's like, it needs to be the same, We need the bumps. And then, like, when they open up, and then rocket launchers. Yeah. It's like, okay.
Rocket missiles come out of them.
Which, was a bit cheesy, admittedly.
I wouldn't have been, like, too bothered by the missiles until my mum leaned over and went, how did it get those? And I was like, how did it get those?
I just presumed that it got them from the warehouse.
Yeah, the warehouse. Well, not the farm, but that place where it goes to get its weapon. I was like, that's the only place it could have got them from, because it couldn't have built them. It really confused me, and I was like, and that was another thing that bugged me for the rest of the episode. I was like,
but then again, could it have? I mean, because if it built a casing that could fly and all that.
But then again, it had leftover Dalek technology from its actual casing that was stored at that place. So that's how it got the gun. That's probably how it got the lights and the controls. It just used it used bits of Dalekanium and bits of just farm metal to build itself again. I hated the colours.
It was silver and black, but then it was just covered in rust.
I thought it was just gold. I just thought it was rusty gold.
Yeah, it just looked brown.
And you were going on about, it's silver and black. It's either silver and blue. I was like, no, it's not. And I had to really look at it and go, there's bits of silver in there, but it is covered in rust. Like,
yeah. Unless you see the CG one, it's like they remove like all the rust though. It's weird. And it flies up and it just looks like a clean Dalek. Okay. I think it would have been nice. See if like it was clean, didn't have them little bits in between separating the segments. It could have been a pretty decent redesign in my opinion.
Yeah. But anyway, we got what we got, and I'd happily have a toy of that. It'd be a cool new Dalek toy to have.
Yeah.
I liked how it brought back the whole thing of, from 2005, I don't think it's really used until Series 2, and then it starts being used. The centre of the Dalek, that the gun where the gun, the
Yeah.
plunger,
Yes.
that whole section spins around and things. And I used to
Yeah.
love that because it was like, oh, this Dalek can just kill. It doesn't need to turn around. It can just spin itself around and kill you without even looking at you. And I watched Dalek the other day and I went, this thing is cool. I didn't actually like Dalek as much as I remembered, but I might have not been in a good mood to have watched it. But, you know, people have used the Dalek when it confronts the soldiers and just kills them all as an excuse for basically going, oh, but this episode is great. It's got this scene. And while that scene is good, people have taken it out of context. And at that point in the episode, we're 40 minutes in.
Yeah, I think people view this as a great Dalek story because the Daleks have been so shit in recent years. That's like, now that we're seeing a Dalek be a Dalek, that is shocking people. It's like, well, no, you shouldn't really be shocked by this. This is just like what we should expect.
And it was very good. It was great to see
it was
Daleks
very good.
Slaughter those soldiers.
Yeah, it was a really good scene.
Even if the tank bit was stupid as fuck.
Yeah. The slow motion.
It was the slow-mo, and it was the bonk sound. I was just like, this is a bit too cartoony now. Like, I mean, the missiles in it was just like, when you watch it again, it was like, okay, that's kind of like, that's just there. Okay, it's got missiles.
It's a mix of being cool and stupid.
Yeah, but when it was I think it does make me laugh when I'm thinking about it now, just the bonk, and then it flew into the Dalek killing people. Yeah, great. But yeah, it's people just gone, oh, it's killing people, so it's great. No, you've got to go through an entire 40 minutes of annoying episode before you get to this.
Well, I mean, I quite like the Dalek creature, as I've said. I think all that stuff's good in the episode.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that was alright. Just like, you've got to go through a lot of other things. Before we move on, the Dalek creature, go back to that. One thing that really annoyed me that didn't annoy you, and I'm going on about it, the Dalek fucking laughed. Daleks don't laugh. Don't. And people have gone to me, like, even my Doctor Who friends were going, well, maybe because it's taken over the human, that's that. And it,
well, yeah, that's what I said to you.
Yeah, I know.
I said that
But
too.
I don't...
Because I thought it was the fact that it was, you know, some of the emotion from the human, like, that was just... Like, it possessed the human, so the traits of that were sort of coming through.
Maybe the Doctor could have gone, but the Doctor doesn't react. She just goes, I think it's laughing. Just, like, doesn't even go, like, oh, like, she'd be going... The Doctor should be going, like, if it is, like, a human, it's like, oh, you're being corrupted by humanity. There aren't Daleks supposed to be pure? And then it would, like,
well, I mean...
shower her.
Maybe it went mad, like Dalek can.
Dalek Khan was cool, though. I watched that finale the other day, and I like Stolen Earth, but I really don't like Journey's End. Until the ending of Journey's End, really don't like it.
The only thing I don't like about Journey's End is I don't know why we're talking about Journey's End, but it's the bit when they're like, they defeat the Daleks and they're just pushing them about and stuff. That's probably the bit I don't like. I don't mind the campy goodbye.
No, that's alright.
When they're all round the TARDIS, I think that's quite fun.
Martha looks at the camera and smiles.
Yeah.
I can't get that out of my head. She just goes, wee! And it's just like, what? Okay, sure. The meta-crisis thing's a bit far-fetched. I hate that it's counted as regeneration in canon.
Yeah, that really is.
And I hate that the War Doctor's counted as well. It should have been just a bonus life.
Yeah, or they should have just brought McGann back.
Or, you know, Schalke Doctor.
Anyway, resolution. We should probably get on to the bits we don't want to talk about, such as Ryan's dad.
No.
First of all, right, going back to the convenience thing. The fact he just turns up as soon as they arrive.
I don't mind that as... Well, yeah, as soon as they arrive, yeah. But I don't mind that he turned up on New Year's Day going, oh yeah, I want to turn over a new leaf. Like, okay, sure. New Year's
but it's like... But it's just the fact that as soon as they get there, it's just the timing of it. It's like, oh, really?
When they get there, though, the Doctor lands on Graham's chair, and if
yeah, I quite like
that's
that.
probably my. I should have really liked Jodie a lot more in this episode, but maybe I was just like I'm just a bit bummed out from not my Doctor people, and you're not completely going off the 13th Doctor, but you're seeing the cracks beginning to show in her character.
I don't think I was a fan of her this episode, to be honest. There was just like little moments where she sort of got on my nerves.
Yeah, but I don't think the chair bit I think that was probably my favourite scene of her, because she just goes, "Well, if you will leave chairs lying about," it's like that's just so her Doctor.
Yeah.
But yeah, things we don't like, Ryan's dad. Yeah, it's just how it just annoyed me how the episode would just stop, so we could have a 5-minute scene
Yeah, I hate that. Yeah.
where Ryan and his dad just talk.
I'll get on to that in a wee minute. I quite liked before like he went away with his dad, that little like I liked the moments between Graham and Ryan's dad.
Yeah, that first bit was okay, but the second bit was just another bit where it's like, the Dalek's doing things now. No, I don't want to go back to this.
Yeah, no, I was on about the little scene before we get the 3-minute scene in the cafe. Just no cuts.
You just keep thinking it's gonna cut, but it doesn't. Just
the
keep
thing is,
going.
I've seen people that have really liked that scene. It's like, fair enough, right?
Taken out of context, fine. I do think it's a bit wordy because it doesn't feel like it's natural conversation. I feel like it's very much a written thing. So, a bit like Moffat where he try and do character stuff.
Yeah.
And it feel like this is natural.
To me, it was too drawn out. It took away from the scale of the episode as well, because we had these two like parallels going on with, oh look, epic Dalek killing soldiers, and then oh, okay, let's slow the episode down now to Ryan as dad.
It was really weirdly paced, this episode, wasn't it? Because it was those two stories. That one was really slow. Then the other one was really high-paced, fast action,
Yeah, which I feel like both would have to be in their own right, but they shouldn't have been together.
Yeah, I just don't like it, and I just feel if you take that out of the episode, I'd enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah, it definitely didn't need to be there. Oh yeah, something about that scene that I found is that it showed a lot of cracks with Ryan. I've always had a problem with the way he reacts to stuff, and I think here he was just flat. He was too one note. He didn't show any emotion. It's like his dad's came back to like reconnect with him, and he's just been the same all series.
I love Graham's reaction to him turning up. No.
Well, Bradley Walsh is great. He's like the best thing about Doctor Who. His current run. Tosin, I just feel he needs to work. Like, we said this in our Series 11 overview. He just feels like he's reading lines, if you know what I mean. As opposed to, oh yeah, this is happening. Yeah. Yeah, that 3-minute scene, like, really showed a lot.
Let's just move on.
Yeah, I'm getting depressed talking about it. Oh yeah, something else about his... Right, so his dad, right, he brings this microwave oven with him, which comes into play a lot
I was about to get onto this.
Yeah.
Can we get onto the... Right, so the Dalek builds itself the new casing and flies off. It kills some soldiers. It was very perfectly timed with the Gatwick drone incident, because then the soldiers go, intercepted unknown drone, and both my mum and my sister laughed because they thought it was about the Gatwick drone. I was like,
yeah.
Well, technically this was written and produced months ago. So... But it was well timed. It was well timed. It's like the thing with like Rosa when the Doctor says I'm Banksy, and then the Banksy painting thing, girl with the balloon shred thing had happened like a week before. This series has been very well timed with things like I've talked to you about this before. Like Arachnids came out around Halloween. Rosa came out Black History Month sort of time.
Demons Remembrance Sunday.
Things like that, and obviously this one set on New Year's Day. Broadcast on New Year's Day, but that was all intended. Or was it? Well, I'll talk about my conspiracy about the Daleks. No. Maybe later. But yeah, the Dalek flies off and then flies to the communications headquarters somewhere. Global communication headquarters. Breaks in. Great scene where that guy is just on the computers and he hears like the entire building being massacred above him. And then it breaks down and kills him. The Dalek wants to summon a fleet, just because that was its purpose. It's been waiting to do that for thousands of years. And the Doctor they take Ryan's dad. Obviously, it's let Lynn go, so she's all right.
Which I found odd. I thought it would just kill her as soon as it was done.
Also, as soon as they all go, she's going to get blamed for a lot of murder.
Yeah, didn't think about that.
Because Unit's gone. I don't think we should talk about Unit. It's just, it's gone. It's gone. It was a Brexit joke. People liked it. People didn't.
I didn't.
I don't mind it. I didn't like the current incarnation of Unit, so I'm kind of glad it's gone.
Yeah, but they could have just, like, getting rid of Unit as a whole just seems daft to me, because, yeah, they said, like, oh yeah, alien invasions don't really happen that much now.
Tell that's a big finish.
If Unit was real, and, you know, when was the last, like, proper big scope alien invasion that, like, we knew about in Doctor Who?
Wasn't one in Series 10, well, the monks, but
yeah, everyone forgot about that. It would have been Series 9 or Series 8, which wasn't that long ago. Like, maybe, like, 5.
Series 9 opener, really, wouldn't it have been? Because then planes stop, and that's the last time... Oh, no, Zygon.
Yeah, so it's like, that didn't happen that long ago in the scheme of things.
Oh, yeah, the Zygons are still there, and Unit we're dealing with the Zygons
yeah, Black
still.
Archive stuff.
So what happens to the Zygon program now? Yeah, Black Archives. Someone posted a good theory on Twitter, like, what if, like, they sell off the government, they own the Black Archive, and then they start selling it off to various people, and it could be aliens posing as, like, companies, or it could just be evil people trying to get alien tech.
No, the thing is,
and it's like, that could be a thing that played out in Series 12 and possibly Series 13.
No, I don't think it'll go any further than what it has.
We'll just have to swallow the whole Black Archive, like, and everything, like the Zygons.
I don't think Unit has gone. Like, although they've said it, they probably will come back, and it'll be like, oh right, yeah, well.
Oh no, they're coming back.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, but we always had like this little off branch or something of Unit doing all stuff.
Well, you know, Big Finish are gonna do like Unit Underground sort of thing, like Kate Stewart and Osgood may have been fired, but they're still gonna protect the Earth.
I didn't get why they just didn't make the soldiers that were gunned down Unit soldiers, and just brought back military Unit.
Yeah, those soldiers just could have been Unit, but I'm glad Unit's gone. It would have been fine if they just disappeared, but, you know, what can you do?
Well, speaking of, like, you know, little scenes like that, what did you think of the power outage? Like, oh, here's a family scene.
Oh, fuck off!
Yeah, it was so cringy.
Do you want a fun bit of trivia? What? I know I have a friend at school who's mates with one of the teenagers. In that scene.
Oh no.
That scene that has been parodied by loads of Doctor Who accounts that I love. And it's like, I could contact that person if I wanted to. If I really desired.
Yeah. Oh, it was so out of place. It totally missed the mark.
It shouldn't have cut to that scene. It should have just been that thing where it's like, whoa, that thing shut down the whole of Britain's internet. And then you have that little joke where he goes, what a monster. Shouldn't have cut to a family then.
No, I wouldn't have minded if it cut to a family. Because it would have been like, you know, the RTD era, and it would have like showed like that is actually affecting people.
Cuts to Yaz's family. You know?
They should have played it for laughs. No, I'm kind of glad that wasn't a companion's family. Like, it was just normal people.
I suppose we'll have to have a conversation. Yes, people talk like that.
Yeah, so shit. Oh, like I was watching this with my gran, and I was just cringing all the way through it. I was like, no.
It's like Chibnall's right. He always has a cringy scene.
Yep.
But with Salad Man, it worked.
Salad Man worked, yes.
Because it was so ridiculous that then people went, wait, no, that's actually what people are like when they're drunk.
Yep. The cod thing was awful.
Yeah, but I can't. Rosa, not really one.
No.
Mallory Blackman was Banksy could have been one, but that worked.
No. Like, I didn't think that was one of the things that was like, okay, this is like the Stormzy thing. That felt definitely like Chibnall's doing.
But I like.
Yeah, I know you liked it. But you know, just seeing the scene with the spiders, like, I thought it was a great, like, visually.
I just loved. That's the one thing I like from Arachnids. It's just like it knows how absurd it is.
Yeah. Well, that's the best thing you can say about that story. It's like, it's so ridiculous and just stupid, but
it knows it's ridiculous and stupid.
But you know what? Yeah, it does just pop up from time to time in Chibnall's writing.
The sniper pot's just missing Graham and Ryan.
Yeah, that's one thing about the Dalek in this. Like, when it came to like important characters, its shot was terrible.
Yeah, alright, we'll move on to the final scene then. The Dalek is beaming out, and it's turned off all the Wi-Fi, We have that awful scene.
Yep.
And the TARDIS crew, they've been in the TARDIS just flying around for most of this episode with that same shot of them flying through the vortex, just being played back and forth.
Yeah.
Which annoy me. And it's like, it's a beautiful shot. I don't need to see it 3 times. We'll talk about beautiful shots when we get to the beautiful vortex shots at the end.
Oh, yeah.
But they land there. We haven't even talked about Yaz, but what does she do?
Yeah, we don't need to talk about Yaz. She didn't do anything.
Exactly. But they all get there. Aaron, Ryan's dad, is on the TARDIS, and he comes to this idea very quickly of how to deal with the Dalek.
Yeah.
About he's taking his microwave oven that Graham brought on the TARDIS for some reason.
Yeah, it's like everything is just too convenient. It's like, why did he
we've
bring it
got
on?
this. To break up the oven somehow, and then they're gonna try and put it on the Dalek, and it'll burn it.
Mm-hmm.
And I did like how the Doctor used the shields to stop Daleks. It was back to Parting of the Ways, which was so much better.
Yep.
Why is that the best Dalek story in New Who?
I mean, it's a solid story.
But it's such a good Dalek story.
Yeah, and it's one of the best regeneration stories as well.
It might even be my favourite. Who knows? Anyway, it's a nice callback to, like, I think I'm going to stand out here without shields. It was also a thing in Rosa when Krasko fires the gun at the TARDIS and it just stops it.
Yeah.
I do like this idea that I did like in Rosa when it was like, I don't know why I'm talking about Rosa. I won't talk about Rosa, even though it's my favourite episode from Series 11. They're going to try and put it on the casing, and the Doctor's going to try and distract. So they take the shields down, and they run, and the Doctor runs, and Dalek starts firing at her, and everyone else goes in the opposite direction because it's a circular room. So she goes to the right, the others all go around the left.
But the whole plan is so stupid.
And she runs. It keeps missing her.
Yep.
She does a skid. It keeps firing. It keeps on missing her. And they all manage to get it on it.
Yes.
And it's still firing. It's not like no one's grabbed the gun, so it's still firing. And they put all these microwave bits on it and they burn it. And the casing melts. And the Doctor says a lot of technobabble in that scene that I really did not get. I was just like, what? She's talking about amplifying, ampage going up, and I was like, oh, I hate science, don't talk about it. For a show about the scientific education, I really don't like science. But that is just a thing about GCSEs, ladies and gents. They just fuck you off. Anyway, they managed to get it on its casing. The plan is terrible. It is. But this whole final act is just like Chibnall's been building. It feels like he just came up with it. Like he doesn't know how to end it.
Yeah, but it feels like they jump from 1 to 100 dead quickly. It's like, oh shit, we need to come up with a plan. This will do.
And it works.
But the thing is, the microwave was set up from the beginning, so he clearly knew, but it's like...
Or did he go back and put that in? Because it doesn't really come back into play. And there is a horrible scene where the TARDIS like bumps, and the Doctor notices the microwave. She just goes, "It's a microwave," and he goes, "It's a microwave oven," and she goes, "Cool," and then goes back to the plot. I feel like it was a last minute editing because it was like Chibnall needed to go. I need to have this Dalek defeated. Yeah. Oh, and she had set up before about the Dalek was burnt. And he was like, "How do I burn it?" "Oh, a microwave oven. Cool." And put it back in. Whatever, you know?
Yep.
But they burn the casing. Bye-bye, Dalek. But it's not dead! Because it jumps onto Aaron, Ryan's dad.
They promised to take the Dalek back to Skaro, right? Cause, like,
no, to the Dalek fleet. Should have really been Skaro.
Where was the Dalek fleet located? Was it just...
Oh, who knows? It was just there's always... When my sister went, "Oh, how does it know there's still a fleet out there?" And I was like, "There's always a Dalek fleet out there." But yeah, I don't know how it didn't see it coming that it wouldn't take her there.
Because it's the first Dalek to leave Skaro and that hasn't seen the Doctor before.
But it knows the Doctor, even though its only encounter with the Doctor would have been Genesis and possibly Day.
Possibly.
That's it. if you look at Dalek timeline. But what is the Dalek timeline? Because some people theorize that the first Dalek stories are the last Dalek stories, and we're going in reverse.
Yep.
Whatever. Which is a cool concept, I actually have to agree.
I mean, when the fuck is Witches Familiar and, like, a Magician's
What
Apprentice
is that?
set?
Why is Scarrow back?
Why is it just a blend
Asylum?
of different models?
Yeah, that is... Right, we're not talking about Witches Familiar. It was just stupid fan service, like Asylum was, anyway. The Doctor manages to take it to a sun-going supernova, and she creates some kind of gravity corridor or whatever, so it will pull the mutant out. But it doesn't let go, so the corridor starts widening, and the Doctor almost kills Ryan's dad.
Yeah, let's speak about this bit, right? I thought, and I also think, he should have died.
Yes, same.
It felt like it was building up to that, because like
the music
it was like,
gets really dramatic, and you're like, "Oh, he's gonna die," isn't he?
And the scene
He's
is
gonna,
drawn
like-
out so long as well.
Like it would have been a thing. It's like, "I love you, Ryan," and then he would let go to kill him and the Dalek or something.
Yeah,
you know?
that's where I thought it was going, and then it just didn't happen. I was like, oh, okay, that was disappointing. I was genuinely disappointed that he didn't die.
He was a shit character.
I was gonna say it wasn't even because he was necessarily a bad character. It was just like he doesn't kind of need to be here anymore, unless like we're gonna have more of him in series 12, which I don't want.
I don't want
more like Ryan.
Before we went into resolution, you were like, "Oh, maybe he could turn up in series 12," and you were like, "Yeah, maybe." And then now you're like, "I don't want him back."
The only thing I can see like benefit is maybe like the Doctor drops Ryan off to spend like a day with his dad or something, and like we have a solo adventure with the Doctor and Yaz, so we can see that character in action.
Oh, and Graham
on our own. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like leave him behind too. I know he's the best thing, but Yaz really needs some development.
I came up with this the other day. We'll talk. If we just talk about anything like future. For after this.
Yeah.
A turn left style adventure with Yaz. What if she never left?
That sounds cool.
And what happened? Well, you can't really do that because there was lots of world-ending events in the RTD era, and that's why turn left works so well. It's like, what if the Doctor wasn't there? With this, what if the Doctor wasn't there? Oh no, Tim Shaw stole the Earth. The gravity corridor starts pulling Ryan's dad out, and Ryan goes to save him. Yeah. I honestly forgot until Ryan went, "Not bad for a kid with dyspraxia," and went, "Oh yeah, he's got dyspraxia."
Yeah, because it sort of just went away.
It was in a ghost monument. I was kind of happy to see it. It's like, okay, so it's not immediately going away. It never came back.
It popped up in Kerblam.
It popped up in Kerblam, and that was another instance where I went, "Oh yeah, he's got dyspraxia."
Yeah, but it's like the first episode and the second episode. It's like, okay, right, they're going somewhere with this, and it's like
that was the whole thing with the Doctor went, "Can I just say you are amazing?" And that was a great scene, but it never comes.
Yeah.
And I can get why you didn't do it for Rosa, but anything else
But now his dad's going to be there to help him ride that bike.
Oh, they might do that scene.
And at the end, they're going to, that scene everyone's been going on about where he just rides the bike off into the sunset. It's the last we see of him.
You're doing it, mate. Rides the bike into a Dalek fleet and kills himself to save everyone.
It's a bit dark, but...
Yeah. Ryan was the best of us all. He had dyspraxia when the plot required him to have it.
Yeah.
Anyway, they get rid of the Dalek mutant. Finally. It was like, it didn't need to happen. Like, the Dalek didn't need to take over Ryan's dad. It just felt like... Because it felt like in the episode they killed the Dalek. Fine, the episode's done. Then it just has that little bit more.
Yeah.
But hey-ho, it's not as bad as, is it going... Like, the scene where it was when's it going to end Ryan's dad talking?
Yeah.
Anyway. But then they go back down into the sewers. And, they say goodbye to everyone, and we have that beautiful final shot where we see the TARDIS's dematerialization from the TARDIS's perspective.
Yeah.
And it's so nicely done, so neatly done, and John Smith got his wish.
Yeah.
Because John Smith VFX did the title sequence and a lot of the vortex effects for this series.
Okay.
I think he did all of them. He did a lot of the CGI shots for this series. But yeah, he got that wish. There is a video on his channel from like, this is the TARDIS's dematerialization from its perspective. And I'd love to see a materialization from the TARDIS's perspective, because the way he did it in that video was great. And I'd love to see that again, but who knows? Right, now we can talk about the music, because in that final scene, there is great music there. Where it's like, dun 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 dun.
Well, I've been listening to the series, like, 11 soundtrack that recently came out.
Yeah, it came out the other day. I have said Sega Nakanola, impersonally, is my favourite composer for the show. Better than Murray. And the only one who really rivals him is Dominic Glynn and Kev McCulloch.
I'll say something about Murray's music, is I think, like, his tracks are more iconic. Like, I can pick out one of his tracks.
And I can hum it.
And be like, okay, this is a bop, or whatever. But Sagan's music, it just feels so much more fitted to the show, and it just works better.
I was always in the belief in like Series 11, it was like, oh yeah, Sagan's music is very TV, it's very works for Doctor Who, whilst Murray's was like, would work for a Doctor Who movie, like John Debney's works for the TV movie, because it's a big epic. But then Sagan does the big blockbuster music for this, and it's like, nah, Sagan's just great at everything.
Yeah, it's like he can change his style depending on what the episode is, which I really like. As opposed to Murray, who just write like a load of epic music just to be slotted in places. Everything feels suited to what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dalek theme in this, I love it so much.
It's not one that stands out for me, in all honesty.
The electric.
I might have to listen to it. Yeah.
You need to. It's on the track Rebuild, and about 5 minutes in, it is. Oh. It's when I remember hearing it. I didn't really like. I just didn't like the episode in my first viewing, so I was like, oh, I just hate everything. But then I watched it again. I was like, Sega's music's banging. I didn't appreciate it at first when you get to that first reveal when it blows up that wall when it comes in, and it's like ba ba bum ba ba bum ba, like a weird. It's got like an electric guitar theme to it, and I love that.
I have remembered what you're on about. Yeah, I remember listening to it last night.
It's like a weirdly rock theme for the Daleks, but it works so well. And then there's also the trumpet sort of thing where it comes like brr, brr, brr.
Yeah.
You can buy my cover of the Series 11 soundtrack, a cappella style, coming soon. You know, that'll be the next Kerblam.
That's one thing I have to say about just the Whittaker era in general, is that no matter if you like it or dislike it, the music has been stellar all the way through.
I can tell you specific. I can hum you. I know specific tracks from When You Fell to Earth, Ghost Monument. Maybe let's Ghost Monument. Rosa, because I was listening to Krasko's theme earlier. Dun.
That's probably the most generic, because it just is all villain.
Funny, because it's like, I love the bit when it's Rosa's theme. And then when Krasko walks up, it starts his theme midway through. Like, it's like whenever he walks into frame.
Yes.
Dun. Arachnids.
Nothing sticks out for me.
But nothing sticks out in that episode.
No, it does, but for the wrong reasons.
Apart from Stormzy.
Snanka Conundrum, I know I hate the episode.
I remember.
No, I love all the music in that. That's probably my favourite score, to be honest. I love how mysterious it is, and
I love the Pating theme. Just the dun dun dun.
Yeah. Enjoyed most of the music from Demons.
Yeah, it's quite good. The end music credits, which is so nice. Also, the Doctor's arrangement of a thing, because that's a bit of 13 in there, isn't there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
The actual track 13. I'm not referring to the Doctor, but yeah, it's a great arrangement of that. Kerblam, the Kerblam jingle, which you will have heard at the beginning. Dun 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 dun. Witchfinders, I can think of King James' theme.
Yeah. It's just because I was listening to it, though.
Huh?
It's just because I was listening to it, though, like, earlier. Like, I probably wouldn't have been able to, like, pick it out if I hadn't.
Yeah, I know, but it's great. It takes you away. Ooh.
None of the music sticks out for me, the last three, but that might just be because I've not been looking at the names of them whilst I've been listening to them.
Yeah. I also just really like It Takes You Away.
It's growing on me, to be fair. The first time I watched it, I was like, what the fuck is this? Second time, it's like, okay, it's okay.
So I think next time we do one of these, you need to watch It Takes You Away and Resolution again.
Yeah.
See if your opinion changes a bit. Battle of Ranskorav Kolos, there's a really nice redoing of a bit from Woman Who Fell to Earth's track where Tim Shaw's like dun 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 dun. You know, he's coming up to kill Carl.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're on about. Yeah.
And then in Battle of Ranskorav Kolos, Tim Shaw goes, "This shrine is the weapon," and then it starts doing that again, but a different cover of it. Not many people are fond of Ranskorav Kolos, but I do like that scene where Tim Shaw goes, "I am unstoppable," and then the Doctor goes, "No one's unstoppable," and runs off.
Well, the thing is, I'm not really a fan of it, but I think Tim Shaw was really good in it.
Yeah.
There's bits of it that are good. It's just I think the story.
I
as
like
a whole,
Jodie.
it's a bit
I know
mediocre.
we shouldn't be talking about Ranskorav Kolos, but
I know.
I really do like that Jodie herself goes off to face Tim Shaw on her own. She has that moment without her friends. Like, it's the Doctor versus the enemy, and that's what I like in that. And I feel Jodie should have more of that. Because she has it in Resolution, bringing it back, when she confronts the Dalek. But she uses the... Oh, right, talk about the Sonic Screwdriver.
I don't want to.
It's overused in Series 11. I kind of like the design of it being built out of spoons. But... she points it at the Dalek, and it stops it firing its weapon.
Oh no!
And it's some bullshit excuse like.
You see, I'd forgot how it was used.
Oh, it's not in sync. And I thought in the trailers when she was pointing it at it, she was just pointing at it because the Doctor points at Sonic. You know, she's trying to do something, but like not even her. She can stop the Dalek. She does. Stops its gun, but it overrides it, and she doesn't. No, she does. She uses it to deactivate the shield when she does the running around skid thing.
I hate that the Sonic Screwdriver is just used for everything. Stuff that it doesn't even need to be used for, such as like the Doctor just scanning something. It's like, oh, that's the thing.
That was a worry I had going into Series 11 from Chibnall's previous work.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Chibnall's previous work would be point the Sonic Screwdriver, day is saved.
Well, that was the thing. Chibnall's work is sort of the cliche of the Matt Smith era.
Yeah.
Is all those things where the Doctor points to Sonic, like in Cold Blood and things like that. He blows up their guns, the Silurians' guns, with the Sonic, and that's that whole pose for the figurehead that we're stuck with for years. It was so weird. In Power of Three, he pointed it around. Same in Dinosaurs on a Spaceship.
Yeah.
I knew we were going to get Sonic, but it didn't seem that big of a problem in Woman. But then he just kept using it.
Yeah, I didn't like how she'd use it to, like, deduct things that the Doctor would usually do, just with, working out by herself, as opposed to, I'll just scan it. Oh, now I know everything.
It's only in the Chibnall episodes, and Demons of the Punjab. And Demons of the Punjab is the one that is most overused.
I agree.
But yeah, Sonic Screwdriver, don't stop Series 12, please. She can use it to unlock doors and maybe scan a couple of things. But scatter them through the series.
Don't use it for
everything. Have her work things out on her own.
Yeah.
She does it, she looks at it in the same way. It's the same thing with Matt Smith flicking the Sonic out and reading it.
Yeah, I hate the stupid reading thing. Like, I know Tennant's was supposed to have it on it, but he didn't really do that. He never looked at Sonic.
He never really extended and looked at it, did he? He just extended it when he was using more power.
Yeah, when he was pointing it, yeah.
And I hate the sound effect it uses, because I was like, it was the diagnostic sound on the toy for Jodie's.
Yeah.
But every time she points it and look back up, it made that same noise. I was like, oh, stop it.
Does the little bit of the front spin?
Yeah, it does in Rosa. Don't know about the rest of the series.
Okay. What did you think of the Dalek's gun noise going back to the Remembrance sound?
Loved it.
Yes.
Loved it. Fucking loved it. It was great, and the effect was amazing. I just loved it so much. I got an SFX guy YouTube channel to upload it today. I asked him a while ago, can you upload the Resolution gun sound effect so I can use it? Oh. And he went, yeah, sure. And he uploaded it today, and I was like, oh, you are good.
Well, one thing I liked, going back to the actual Dalek in Resolution, and Nick Briggs voicing the Dalek, I loved the voice he put on.
I spent the first bit of that episode going, is that Nick Briggs?
It sounded like a Big Finish Dalek, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like the time controller or the time strategist.
Yeah.
The low tone. Actually, it sounded like one of the Daleks from Blood of the Daleks. You know, the proto Daleks, the brrr, like the brrr sound that it went with it, like the no.
I kind of like the more deeper voices on them because it makes them feel more powerful in a way.
But then I loved how it went. He's obviously like giving it his all.
Yeah.
It sounded like he was so happy to be back playing the Dalek.
Well, didn't he like put on Twitter or so he was annoyed that he wasn't asked back for Series 11?
I think that was probably a joke because they would have got him because they film Resolution basically as part of series. They film Resolution as part of Series 11. So I think it was probably a joke that he put. I was like, where am I?
Yeah.
But to be honest, he didn't really need to be in the series because it was so nice hearing other voices. I was watching The Big Bang the other day, and he just plays a voice of a person in that and the Daleks.
I was about to say, are there not series where he literally voices every monster? Or at least the
I think
majority
it's Series
of them?
9.
Yeah, and you're like, really?
Because he voices the Zygons off the top of my head, I remember.
I don't even remember. Series 9?
Yeah. No one does. It's the curse of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
For Resolution, let's wrap it up now. I've come out of this going back to all the scenes I really liked and just go, was it that bad? I think it's passable.
Yeah. There's certainly things to like about it. I just don't know if
things that really fuck you off.
Yeah, I just don't know if these things all work together. I think it's... Oh, I don't want to use Hellbent as a thing.
No.
I was going to say, Hellbent has nice bits in it, but it doesn't quite work together, so I won't...
But Hellbent's worse. It's 10 times
Yeah, obviously.
worse.
Hellbent is atrocious.
Resolution Final Force.
Yeah, I think bits of it worked, but overall, as a story, they didn't quite gel too well together. Like, stuff with Ryan's dad, I think, could have been cut out. It would have been a lot better just to focus on the Dalek stuff. Have the whole, this is the Doctor going up against the Daleks for the first time type thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, having so much like development with Ryan and his relationship with his family, it could have been nice to focus a little bit more on Yaz. But
I've got a lot of problems with this story that I haven't talked about, but I just can't be asked. I'm just going to leave my thoughts on Resolution now as it's not the best, and I have no real desire to go back to it for a while.
It's good with what it does with the Daleks and actually making them a threat again.
I'm looking forward to seeing, hopefully, not hopefully, Jodie will face the Daleks again because the contract exists and I will never let it go. It exists. They got around it somehow. I'll find out one day.
That's why they put the voice in the trailer at the end. Just to like, oh no, look, there was a little bit of a Dalek in 2018.
That counts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was just alright, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's not Jodie's worst episode.
No. Oh god.
That spot is taken by arachnids for me.
Sinanga for me. I can't even say the episode name.
I will defend Zaranga Conundrum until the end of time. I love that story. Well, love's a strong. I like that story.
It's just boring. Nothing happens.
I don't think like what the Who addicts say. It's like it's worse than Hell.
No, I don't agree with them. Like to that degree. I think that was more just an immediate reaction, though.
Like the Angels Take Manhattan's worse than it. I think. Yeah, he put it in his best possible series.
Then again, there aren't many like
good episode 5s.
Yeah.
Oxygen.
Yeah. I'm thinking about doing my own like best possible series type thing.
I might
probably
do that
call it My Ultimate Series or something, just to be original.
Yeah. We could do a Kerblam on it. Going forward now, because we got no Doctor Who in 2019. Well, no broadcast Doctor Who. Or will we have a Christmas special is the question.
Possibly.
Because they filmed Return of Doctor Mysterio while they were filming Series 10
Yeah.
and put that out in 2016. So,
we did hear this was a one-off in terms of New Year's special.
they end this episode where they're going, the Doctor will return.
Yeah, and it didn't say in 2020.
That doesn't necessarily say 2019. They're just saying, it's going to come out as early as possible in 2020.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they even know when it's going to come out at this point.
Probably not.
They have just said early 2020 because that's a rough estimate. I think at the moment it's just like it will come out as soon as we can get it out.
It'll be like the Series 10 situation when they're still editing episodes while it's going out.
No, that was just because Stephen Moffat rewrote Twice Upon a Time. If you've seen my first video on my channel, you know this.
Anyway, moving forward into Doctor Who's future.
Series 12, we've talked about this, and everyone else, you've probably watched Series 11 reviews online, have just gone more Yaz, toes in, up your game a bit. Bradley keep being Bradley. Ryan and Graham can take a backseat now their characters are over, give Yaz more to do. Mm-hmm. Jodie, calm it a bit.
How do you think Chibnall's going to take the show now? Now that he's obviously going to take on board some of the criticism, improve on some of the stuff.
He is a writer who takes on board criticism, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be a lot more bold now. I mean, he's got the new audience on board. We'll probably see a few more classic villains return.
I expect the ad campaign to hopefully be as hard as it was this time, possibly even more so because of the year's gap.
Yeah, I hope it continues through the series as well. It doesn't just drop off like what we had with Series 11.
Oh no, I feel like I don't know if they will learn their lesson. Because that's more of a that's the BBC promotion house thing, less than it is Chibnall. If Chibnall was in charge, it would be on between every ad break for every show, which it was running up to Series 11, but post Rosa, the ad campaign really dipped.
Apparently Chibnall's going to have a lot more control over Series 12 now.
Is he?
Yeah, because the BBC didn't think Series 11 was going to do as well as it did.
Well, this is the thing. This was Series 11. We might not have gotten any more Doctor Who if it didn't work.
Yeah, it's like the BBC were constantly on his back, and that's why I think Series 11 was as safe as it was. Yeah. I think most of my criticisms...
Tick all the boxes.
Yeah.
Keep it don't go too high concept. Yeah.
It's kind of like the downfalls of the series are down to the BBC.
So I'm glad now, and it's like, I hope Chibnall hasn't been fucked off by this, because...
Oh, yeah.
I obviously don't want Jodie to go, but I feel like Chibnall, he's still got something in him. Yeah, exactly. His most adventurous episode was his first episode, and that was because he needed to get the audience back on board. And he did.
Hopefully he writes a lot less scripts as well.
I mean, Doctor Who's been nominated for loads of awards. It's won a Rotten Tomatoes award.
Which I found funny. I feel like Doctor Who Twitter account only tweeted that out to piss off the haters that were like, spamming the thing just to get back at them. Like, hey, look, we've won a Rotten Tomatoes award. You know that thing that got it dropped to like 19% audience rating, wasn't it? Just with people spamming it.
Exactly. It's great that Doctor Who's been nominated for awards. Yeah. Doubt it will win it because it's going up against Killing Eve, and Killing Eve was great.
Yeah, I don't think it'll win the
NTA National Television Awards, because Doctor Who was nominated for Best Programme, and Jodie was nominated for Best Actress, but she's going up against the woman who played villain now. And it's like, if you've seen Killing Eve, Doctor Who's great, but the general public loves Killing Eve.
Yeah, I don't see it winning, but the fact that it's even been nominated,
after, last time Doctor Who was nominated for award was probably 2010.
No, it was, the Matt Smith, I'm pretty sure possibly even, Series 6 was nominated. I'm sure.
Well, that's because the America push.
None of the Capaldi series were nominated.
No one was watching.
Yeah.
Well, no one was watching Series 9 and 10, especially.
What are you doing?
I'm just moving around.
Oh, it sounded like you were shaking a bag of stuff.
Okay. And on that note, I think it's time to end this shitfest.
I've been Big Damn Jean.
And I've been a terrible person.
And we're the Kerblam boys.
Forgive my sins, mighty Lord.